All right, friends, it's T, and I'm back with a new video, bro. And it's that time again. It's Blaha time. Yeah, man. We're going to do a reaction to the gym lifting recruiting fitness gear slave, Blaha. So, Blaha says in this video, he says, BCAAs, test boosters, and pre-workouts were the biggest scams of the previous decade. They're just supplements, dude. I don't know what the scam is.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about the biggest supplement scams of the previous era. And when I say supplement scams, I don't mean that they didn't produce necessarily any effect or something that anyone feels.
Produce an effect that someone feels? What effect were you expecting them to create that you would feel? What's the effect? Headaches or something? What are you talking about?
It's that when they were studied, they produced no benefits whatsoever that led to additional strength, additional muscle growth, or any...
Whoa, benefits to additional strength or muscle growth? How do supplements grow a muscle? They don't grow muscles, bro. Especially if there's no damage in your body. The mechanism that triggers growth is damage. If there's no muscle micro damage, then there's no growth. Here's the thing. The question is this. Do the supplements have a benefit if you actually micro-damaged your muscles in the eccentric form? No. Well, yeah, possibly, but none of you are doing that. Get it? Everybody are concentric lifters in the gym. 99.9% of people in the gym lift concentrically. There are no people that do eccentric overload training. Get it, bro? Because they don't know what bodybuilding is. Because they all think it's this new day and age. I don't know what fucking century you people live in, but in this crazy century now that you live in, the last few decades, all of you people are about performance and endurance, and that's not what bodybuilding is. Because real bodybuilding, eccentric overload, compromises sportive performance, so it can't be a sport. Now, kid it. See what I mean? So how could these supplements do anything if you're doing something that doesn't build muscles? You're just trying to get a stronger nervous system by being good at lifting a weight against gravity. Duh.
Any such things when it was looked at. And those big three are going to be branched chain amino acids, which were an enormous scam, any sort of testosterone booster, and of course pre-workout supplements. And you know, the funny thing is...
Yeah, but again... Concentric lifting, what Blaha does here, is not the mechanism that triggers growth in your body. Yeah, because it's not associated with muscle growth.
To this day, you still have people who
if anything, it shortens your sarcomeres. Yeah, to help you produce more force. That's the reason. Here's the thing: people wonder why would they say that lifting concentrically actually shortens your it's a loss of sarcomeres. Why is there a loss of sarcomeres? Well, because it's gearing you up for. It's a kind of, I don't know how to explain this, to produce more force. So they shorten up to produce more force in a short range of motion. You understand me? It's complicated. Yeah, you actually lose muscle, so it could give you, so in exchange for more force production. But you really get more force production regardless in the eccentric form, because you could lift heavier. So it has to recruit more muscle fibers. Look, more muscle fibers are recruited in the eccentric overload than fibers being recruited in the concentric, because there's more weight being loaded. There's more weight. You understand me? It's complicated anyway.
And all of these things, and the pre-workouts I'll discuss straight up front. This one actually, when I used to discuss this, I have actually had like a hater call me on the phone and scream at me about it. Right? He actually got really upset with me, and he's like, "Oh, you don't have a normal job."
If you're trying to build muscle, you're skating uphill, doing concentric exercises. Once again, you're skating uphill, because if it's associated with a loss of sarcomeres, you really want to get more of them. What are you doing there exactly? What are you doing? Trying to get him? That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? That's trying to get blood from a stone. You can't get blood from a stone because there isn't any there.
People forget I used to work 60-hour work weeks and so it was really, before I ran social media and a coaching business. So I thought that was just a really weird take. I still managed to get to the gym and train just fine. So, So
What's Coach's Blaha's disability for? He's on disability, but what's it for his disability? I'm curious, but whatever.
that being said, when you look at the pre-workouts, it's not saying people don't get a buzz from them or they don't get high or whatever reason they're taking them. What I'm saying
A buzz? You get high from taking supplements? I've never heard that one before.
is they don't produce any meaningful results. In other words, people are like, oh, surely they do, because if you could.
How do you know? Did they do a test to see if they produced results in concentric lifters or eccentric overload? See, that's the question. Like I said, all these tests that people do, like on muscle growth, they're really specific. Like, if you're doing full range of motion, concentric, eccentric, and then they go, well, this group got muscle, this group got muscle, or they're untrained, or they did this untrained, or they're trained athletes, but they did an untrained exercise, or whatever. You have to really read between the lines exactly what they're doing there. Those are just tests. Those are not meant for you to carry over to your exercise regime. Only crazy people like Jeff Nipper do that. That's garbage. That's just garbage stuff. So-called science-based training. There's no such thing as science-based training. Science already tells you what builds muscle. Eccentric. Concentric doesn't build muscle. That's it, bro.
Lift more than obviously it's going to produce more gains, but it doesn't, and it's never been shown to produce more.
Lift more doesn't produce gains. Lifting concentrically reduces gains. Get it? So that you can push more, you can produce more force. Okay, because that's what you're doing there. You're going with gravity. I think people don't even understand. Right, people don't understand physics, man. You need to go back to school and learn physics or something. Fuck it. If you go in space and you float around, you get skinny. Get it? There's a reaction that goes, or chemical reaction in your body, and you get skinny. Now, when you land on Earth, there's gravity. Why do you expand and get big?
Gains. When it was studied, remember, craze was the big one that was looked at, right? And it was so potent that it became illegal. So the ingredients were outlawed inside the United States. That's how.
I know, because the easiest lifting to do, the most comfortable lifting, like comfortable lifting slaves, is concentric exercise. So you love to do things that are comfortable. And guess what? You can't get what you want doing comfortable shit. You must be willing to do the things today that other people aren't willing to do in order to have the things tomorrow that other people will not have. Get it? But none of you people are willing to do that. You want to be comfortable slaves, and then you want to complain about it, and you want to look the part. You want to look the part of lifting a heavy weight. You want to look big and jacked because you're lifting a heavy weight. That's just stupid.
Potent some of it was, to where FDA and everything said, yeah, we're gonna take this off the shelf. You can't sell this to people. Okay? Right? Remember that one?
Trust me, listen, I gotta tell you something, okay? In the past, when I went to the gym, we're talking like way back, all right? Back in the day, like you're talking 70s, 80s, whatever, even 90s, early 90s. People still did eccentric overload. They knew about eccentric lifting, overloading, and whatever. They didn't quite understand it, but they did it. And then the amount of supplements they took, they did work. Like amino acids would increase more growth hormone. And I noticed these people, they took these pills and they grew. They grew from lifting. Now, they didn't quite understand. They would do a lot of multiple sets. They did a lot of, like, they worked out hard in those days, dude. But here's the thing. They didn't work out really smart. They just worked out harder. And so they fluked it. They fluked the concentric lift. How did they do that? By overworking their muscles. That's what I noticed in the gym. So that was one of the things that I used to do. I just overworked it. I still got concentric. I got eccentric, but I still got concentric as well, because I would do both. See, I would never forego the exercise. I do both, but it was an overworking of that muscle. So you still get a lot of the eccentric in that regime, right? Okay, what's the difference now if you were to do just eccentric overload? Well, if you do just eccentric overload, you get way more faster and bigger results a lot quicker. See what I mean? That's all you're getting. You know what I mean? There's a lot more breakdown of your body there, but you need to be very careful and you need to be very specific what you're doing there. If you don't know what you're doing, man, fuck, that can be a bad thing. You understand me? So it takes practice to understand how these mechanisms work on your body. Anyway,
It's now an illegal pre-workout. But when it was studied, what did they find? The people who just took a little bit of caffeine, like when they were on good programming and a good diet. In other words, the research actually had them run periodized training written by the strength and conditioning coaches at the university. Okay? So we're talking professional strength and conditioning coaches.
okay, tell me, how does creatine have benefits for people that are doing concentric exercise? What are the benefits? Okay, it gives you a little bit more strength to be a lifting slave, to lift a little heavier, right? It puts a little bit of water in your muscle, 5 pounds. So you walk around with a little bit of 5 pounds of water muscles, pretending that you have muscles. Okay. How does it benefit people that do eccentric overload training? How does it benefit them? Oh, there's an increase in what? Nuclei and satellite cells. Whoa, you get it? And nuclei, the more you get of them, they enhance what? They enhance your performance. Get it? They enhance you. Like naturally, they enhance you naturally. See what I mean? So, how these supplements work in your body, it depends on your training.
Wrote their workouts to maximize muscle growth and strength, right? It's like, okay, we need these people to get jacked and strong. Write their program.
Listen to what he says, maximize muscle growth and strength. But you're not growing muscles doing concentric lifting. So it's not going to maximize anything. It's going to create water muscles, the pump.
They had sports dietitians write their meal plans, okay? So they had both groups do this, and guess what?
Look at this frivolous exercise. He's just like throwing the weights up and down, up and down. It's too light. It's too light going up, too light going down. It's garbage lifting.
When it was all said and done, the people who were not given the craze versus the people who took the craze gained the same amount of muscle and strength. Okay?
What kind of muscle did they gain? Sarcoplasmic? Doing concentric lifting? It's fake muscle.
That pre-workout is so potent that it's now illegal, and it produced no benefits. And that's what I mean. People are like, well, surely there must be something. Then if people felt better, they must get a placebo. And that's kind of my point with the pre-workouts. Yes, they should be giving you a placebo, but when it was studied, they produced no benefit. So what does that tell us? That whatever negatives pre-workouts produce probably exceed the benefits of the placebo. Ooh. Because if something should give a placebo and all indications are that we should get a placebo, then we should get something out of it. But when we don't, that is oftentimes, we can speculate there's a problem being created that is so strong that it's offsetting the placebo. Okay. And I would suggest that's what happens with pre-workouts. The psychological arousal interferes with recovery. And if recovery is compromised, then guess what?
What?
Then we get less gains. So again, in this case, the negative.
You get less gains. You're not making any gains doing concentric lifting, okay?
Then we're strong enough to offset the placebo. Same thing when it comes to test boosters. They failed over and over and over and over and over and over.
Of course they did, because they don't damage your muscle fibers, the test boosters. They don't damage them. You gotta damage them. You understand me? They don't have magic powers to damage muscle fibers to trigger growth.
On top of that, people don't understand that minor fluctuations in the normal range don't produce muscle growth. In other words,
look, man, testosterone doesn't have magic powers where it damages muscles for you. You have to damage them. Doesn't matter how much testosterone you inject in your body. You can inject it from here to high heaven. If you don't have any damaged muscles, there's nothing to grow. Get it? So when you inject steroids in your body, remember, they're wasting drugs. So they're preventing you from wasting away. And what are you doing? Oh, I'm eating 10,000 calories. What's your calories made up of? Carbohydrates. And where are they all being shuffled? Where are they being shuffled when you're doing your concentric pump training? Into your muscles. Get it? Yeah. And then you're like, look, I'm jacked. Oh, yeah, you are jacked with a bunch of glycogen, the balloon method. Like the guy from Superhuman You, Troy, the balloon method.
Someone who's on a true replacement dose of TRT, for example, doesn't gain any muscle over when they were slightly younger with a normal level. They only gain slightly more muscle over a clinically low person. They have no advantage over a natural. And I've seen people try to make the arguments, well, they're not as subject to random fluctuations. They can diet down leaner without their test dropping.
If you guess the price of this, I'll give it to you.
Fluctuations, they can diet down leaner without their test dropping. How lean are you guys dieting that your test is dropping? Do you see how extreme that is? People who are 14% body fat talking about this nonsense.
Then you should be eating more cholesterol to keep your testosterone up. That's what you should be doing. Saturated fat. You'll lose fat, and your testosterone will be low if you eat more saturated fat. Get it?
So you're not doing a bodybuilding show. You're not shredding down, peeled to the bone. In which case, okay, maybe you have a minor point. Yeah, it might help preserve a tiny amount of muscle.
Yeah, blah.
But you see what I mean, guys? This is tit for tat. But the thing is, most of the test boosters, even the ones that everyone raves about, they don't even produce real results. Okay. Like, you remember when Lobliner put out his Insurgent? And he did an in-house study, not even controlled study in a lab, an in-house study. The guy had low testosterone. And the end result after taking it for whatever.
Yeah, but your studies suck because you're making a mistake. You don't know what you're doing.
His testosterone went up slightly, but it was still low. In other words, even with the test booster, the guy's testosterone levels were low. So we went from low testosterone to low testosterone.
Okay.
Keeping in mind, minor fluctuations don't matter. People are misunderstanding how much testosterone guys use who are on gear. Like they get so caught up in this TRT thing that they're literally thinking, oh yeah, man, if I took 150 milligrams of test right now, even if someone without low test, I'd gain a bunch of muscle. No, you probably wouldn't gain much of anything. Because you'd still be in the normal range. You would just suppress your normal production. You'd still be in the normal range, maybe a minor boost. It wouldn't be worth 5 pounds of muscle or something crazy. It just wouldn't happen. That's just not how these things work. But they're seeing people who are on 300, 500 milligrams, 2,000 milligrams, 5,000 milligrams. Okay, when your body's producing 100, 250 a week would be a replacement dose. Okay, it's not the same thing. Not the same thing. But none of the test boosters ever pan out or work in the lab when independent studies are done. They just don't work. Then branched chain amino acids was the one that was pimped by everyone. I even got sued over it. And then all these
Blah got sued over it. Blah is just a troublemaker.
Analysis came out that showed they do nothing for muscle growth. They do nothing for muscle proteins.
Yeah, they don't do anything for people that don't build muscles, okay? They don't magically build muscles for you because you're not building muscles, get it? You're not damaging them to build them. You understand, man? You have to be really dumb not to understand that, Blaha.
This is absolutely nothing at all.
The
only way branched chain amino acids work was if they were part of a larger protein.
No, they always work. If your muscles were damaged, they would work. They work. They don't work with people that don't damage muscles, that are endurance, performance slaves, get it? Because it's not based on performance bodybuilding.
Matrix. In other words, whey protein, which is a little higher in branched chain amino acids, tend to be slightly better. But when even they are given in large doses, intravenously in massive amounts, they still don't improve muscle protein synthesis. They don't improve muscle growth. This is what meta-analysis is.
They don't produce muscle growth. They don't damage muscles for you, you dummy. They don't have hands.
They were a scam supplement from day one, which is why, the people who were making money pushing them knew that.
Here's the thing. They're not scam supplements. It's just, it doesn't meet the requirement for your regime. That's all. What you're doing there, because you're not doing enough eccentric exercise, getting damaged. That's all. It's really simple. There's no growth there.
That's why they sued me. That's why they silenced me. I was the
That's why they sued me because I'm blah. The supplements, they were supposed to build my muscles for me. Do you understand me? I'm doing concentric exercise, but it's not associated with building muscles. But the supplement's supposed to do it because it claims it builds a muscle. No, it doesn't build muscles. You have to damage them, and then they help in the aid in building muscles, dumbass. You dummy. So that's why his lawsuit is frivolous and vexatious. So they threw it out. They chased after him because he's a dummy. He wanted to coax them into believing that he got scammed because his concentric exercise, which doesn't build muscles, it didn't magically build him muscles. He wanted it to have magically build him, bro.
most outspoken critic, apparently, the first person to really
The
call
most
it.
outspoken idiot. They saw you as an idiot in court, dude. You're an idiot. Do you think they don't know that concentric exercise is not associated with muscle growth and that you were trying to eke out something? You were trying to create something out of nothing. You're crazy. You can't create something out of nothing, you dummy.
Out, so I got sued.
You aren't God. You can't create something out of nothing. There has to be something there for your body to create because you're not the creator. Your body will create it for you. You're not a God, dude.
Over it. And then they continue to make millions of dollars selling them, and then all these meta-analyses.
Oh, they made millions of dollars of selling them. Yeah, they were selling them to people that wanted the use of them in their real building regime, dumbass.
That says they're complete garbage. And yet here they are. We know it was one of the big scams, but then what happens? There's still people who defend it to this day.
I personally don't care about supplements. Me personally, they have some benefits to them, but they don't work with people that don't build muscles. Get it? They don't build them for you magically.
The fact, well, I took it and I felt like I got gains. Okay?
Oh, I took it and I felt like I got gains. You felt like you got gains. I just told you, they don't damage your muscles to give you gains. What gains did you feel? You felt that they damaged them for you magically? No, you have to damage them. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to go through the pain. You have to go through all that to build muscles if that's what you want. But if you don't want them, then don't do it. Shut up.
All off of placebo, guys. All off of placebo.
See, there you go. It's all placebo, guys. Placebo what?
Right? It's just ludicrous. All right, guys, but that's really...
Of course, it's ludicrous to an idiot like Blaha. I'll see you in the next one, friends. So what you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. This is the stupidity on this channel. What do you expect? This guy's dumb.